What's up, my friends? Welcome to the PinPoint Podcast. I'm your host, Jaden Hurd. That thing is so annoying, man. You have to physically stop it, and then I have to unhide myself. I get so annoying. Anyway, sorry. Buzz, how we doing?
Doing all right, brother.
Doing
After a
wonderful,
little
brother.
rant.
Doing wonderful, brother. I actually just a little highlight of this morning. Rode my bike 28 and a half miles today.
Noise.
That's awesome, man.
Best ever.
Wow.
Yeah, I got up pretty early this morning too. We had a big launch day for work for like something that we were doing on social media. So I've had a long day, but I actually enjoyed this long day because I feel like work's been kind of not too busy over the summer, and then now I'm like doing a lot more, so it's a lot better now. Chris, what about you? How's work for you, bro?
Work's been doing good. Still anticipating a new baby, so that's wonderful. Yeah.
At
and
work? You're anticipating a new baby at work?
nah, at home.
I hope not.
No, but yeah, and another thing too that I've been working on, I had mentioned probably a couple months ago now, but me and one other brother over in Georgia named Matthew, we've been working on a documentary together, and so that's been really fun, and we kind of got that in the wraps and everything too, and so yeah, the Lord's been blessing us with that, so really excited.
That's what's up, man. Um, that's awesome. And yeah, I'm excited for you and Jay and the baby that's coming. Ephraim is already a blessing to all of us here. So glad we get to have us a little bit more chaos with another one. So um, we'll see.
Maybe.
But maybe, yeah. But Chris, let's go back to you. Chris, what are you drinking?
I'm drinking chocolate milk with raw cow milk.
Chocolate
Now
milk
let
with raw cow milk? Like two different milks? Or is it the
Raw
same milk?
cow milk with yeah, so raw cow milk with chocolate milk in it. Yes.
bro, you haven't heard of the chocolate milk cow? It's those really brown cows. The milk, the chocolate milk comes out of it.
That's like
The
the Willy
brown
Wonka cow,
cows.
bro.
Yeah, basically, that's where that waterfall came from. That's come from those chocolate cows.
Yep, exactly.
Yep, it's the brown cows.
What about you, Kerrigan? What are you drinking, bro?
Chai tea. Something warm to keep my throat open and clear.
Very cool.
Nice.
I'm drinking out of my Sonora water bottle. I'm drinking some water, some Texas spring water, and watermelon flavored lemon perfect. So,
Nice. Always
yeah.
got to be watermelon.
I mean, I usually get the watermelon, the blueberry, or the regular flavor. That's what I get. You know,
I think
it
watermelon
Blueberry's
is my
my
happens to be.
favorite.
favorite flavor. Period.
No comment. No
I
comment.
mean, if he ever gets dehydrated and we have to take him to the hospital, they'll have to put a watermelon IV in his veins. He'd
That's
be good to
right.
go.
That's
That'd
right.
be great. That'd be great. Um, So today is gonna be a fun podcast. We're gonna be talking about the craziest that's happening in WNBA right now. I feel like we could have covered the story every week for like the last couple months. Honestly, there's just some crazy stuff that's been happening with Caitlin Clark, Sophie Cunningham, but now it's like the transgender stuff, and you know that stuff is very controversial, but also it's very relevant to the Christian world, I think. So we'll talk about that a little bit. Um, and then we're gonna get into a new segment. Well, that'll be last, but we're gonna do a new segment that Chris has later on, and it's gonna be called. Is it called Bible or not, Chris? Is that what we're calling it officially? W mute button. At least it's not a bag of chips. It is mute though.
Oh, whoops. Sorry. No, I was saying no, it's called Is That Bible?
Okay, is that Bible? I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. Basically, me and Chris were in the coffee shop one day here in Austin, and we were just fellowshipping. And I don't know how this came up, but I showed him a video of these professing Christians. It was like a trend on TikTok that a church was doing, or a youth group church was doing. And the person with the microphone would interview someone and say, "Hey, here's a quote I'm going to give you. You got to tell me if it's from the Bible or if it's from a random quote from somewhere." And no, almost none of them got it right. And me and Chris were just sitting there, just shaking our heads, man. And so Chris thought it would be a great idea to bring it to the show and see if me and Kerrigan could see if it's Bible or not.
Well, yeah. So, yeah, I actually wanted to do man on the street videos with that,
Oh,
and
yeah.
kind of replicate that, just because, there's actually a lot of professing Christians who are just illiterate to the Bible, and then Brother Kerrigan actually reached out to me privately, wanting to, just offer me another segment idea, and this was one of them, and I was like, just thinking back to, what you just brought up, and I was like, wow, I actually could do that, and so. But these brothers actually read the word. So, I just kind of stuck to, just for the first segment for this, just kind of going easy on them, so we'll see.
We'll see. We'll see about you going easy on us.
I mean, it's really easy.
I know. It probably is. And then we're going to do one of my literally one of my favorite segments, and that's Kerrigan's Apologetics Corner. I like it because I love philosophy. Kerrigan loves philosophy. And I think it's very helpful for you guys. But basically, Kerrigan's going to be covering one of the logical fallacies or something. I don't know. Kerrigan, you can tell them. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna cover logical fallacy tonight, and like Jay said, I really like philosophy. I'm actually, here's a little secret, I guess. I'm considering going back to school, and one thing I'm considering is getting an advanced degree in philosophy. So we'll see what happens. I'm just praying about it right now. But if you want to see a good example of good philosophy on display versus bad philosophy, go check out Jaden's most recent video on his YouTube channel, where he's dealing with a guy who supposedly has a degree in philosophy, and it is really, really bad for him. Really bad for him. Jaden did a great job dealing with it. I really appreciate that.
Wow, what an endorsement, y'all. Imagine Kerrigan Skelly telling you, go check out your most recent. I like that. I like that. Also, I did post another video today, so it would be the video before today. Just saying, y'all. So, but it is the video. You'll see in the title. You'll see in the title.
Just drop the link.
But anyway, I got so many tabs. Okay, I'll do it later on. Yeah, I'll do it later on. Okay, sounds good. Real quick, before we get into this podcast, actually, I wanted to show you guys something unfortunate that's happening. For basically, Massachusetts is cooked. And I was going to do a segment about this, but I didn't really feel like doing 2 segments today or topics today. But here, breaking, Massachusetts moves to create a Muslim commission to help place Muslims in government and shape state policy. The bill orders it to identify and recommend qualified American Muslims for appointive positions at all levels of government. That doesn't make any sense to me.
What is wrong with them?
Why?
Boy, just so messed up in the brain, man. What is, like, they don't even understand what Islam is, obviously. And I don't think Michigan has any law like this necessarily, but Michigan's cooked too, man. I mean, Michigan's like, they've been cooked for a while too.
Oh, I was going to say Michigan, we'll get to that in a second, but let's stay in Massachusetts real quick, actually, because they just signed a bill also yesterday allowing abortions up to 9 months, up to birth. The correct language of it is getting rid of getting rid of the gestational age limit so that they can provide abortions for medical emergencies. But of course, as you brothers know, you don't have to have a medical emergency in order to get an abortion at 9 months in these states. That's just Democrat jargon. So that's that. And then I'm sorry. Well, go ahead, Kerrigan, if you want to say something. I got to find something else as well.
Yeah, I mean, they love to change the wording of things to make it seem like it's something pleasant or something positive. When they say remove age limit restrictions on abortion, it's like even the word abortion. No, you're a baby murderer. That's what you are. You're not aborting. You're murdering a child, an unborn child. That's what you're doing. And this kind of nonsense, man, you got to see through it and see it for what it is, lest you be deceived.
Yeah, I agree. Speaking of Michigan, by the way, because you brought it up, bro, I saw this earlier. University of Michigan to eliminate the traditional letter grading system for incoming freshman students. What's the reasoning? To combat the mental health crisis among students.
What is wrong with these people, man? What has happened to our world? We are doomed.
Yeah, we're cooked. Gen Alpha is cooked.
You're too sad, so we can't fail you. Like, what are we talking about?
Jesus help us.
Anyway, I saw that there was just a lot that happened today that I honestly, if it would have happened like maybe a couple of days ago or a few days ago, I would have probably made these topics. But just a lot's been happening recently. But I really wanted to do this upcoming segment that we're going to get into. So, brothers, are we ready to get into the pod? Okay, so let's start with the WNBA controversy. Most recently, we've had two men declare for the WNBA draft. And I'm starting at the very end because I want to show you guys where we're going to take this. But it's hilarious. Enes Kanter Freedom, who's a former NBA star, and then former NBA first drafter Royce White also declared for the WNBA because the WNBA has some language issues in their policies, first of all. And second of all, there's been some controversy regarding women and what a woman is, and also whether or not you can be trans and be in the WNBA or not. And this isn't coming from the right wing. This is coming from the WNBA themselves, players, coaches, and owners coming out in support of trans women, or just men in women's sports. So we're going to start from, where do we want to start? Let's see. Oh, yeah. Let's start here. So a while back, this is like a few weeks ago, and there's a lot of controversy has been happening in the WNBA, specifically around this woman, Caitlin Clark, because she's not a lesbian, she's not masculine necessarily, she's a woman and she's white. Let's just be real, right? She's white. They don't like this girl. She's also really good. She happens to be really good. So they basically, if I were to compare her to an NBA player, I would compare her to like Steph Curry with how she can shoot the ball, whatever, right? Whatever, doesn't matter. The point is they really don't like her. And you can go look this up. You can look up like a compilation of Caitlin Clark getting her butt beat. Like, she's just, go ahead, Kerrigan.
And not only is she good, right, for the WNBA, she's good. I want to say that. Because you compare her to Steph Curry, and obviously, I'm not following basketball like I used to back in the day, but Steph Curry is probably the best shooter of all time. I don't think she can tie his shoes. But for the women, she's probably one of the best, if not the best in the whole league. I'm understanding it. And if it wasn't for her, people wouldn't even know about WNBA for the most part. Like, she's made that sport, people want to watch it. And I've read things where when she travels for an away game, people go to the game just to see her. Like, normally the games won't be packed out, but when she's there, it's packed out. And of course, where she plays in Indiana, supposedly it's always packed out. So it just seems real strange, like they're shooting themselves in the foot to come against her. Like, she's the reason why they even have people watching in the first place.
Yep. So here's the first thing I just want to show you guys real quick. And this is just a build-up to what's happening right now, okay? So this is why, there's a reason why I'm playing this, but just look at one of the hard fouls that just happened literally just a couple weeks ago.
I mean, Caitlin to the ground, and ooh, that's a hand to the neck, and then Alyssa Thomas steps over her.
So me and Kerrigan know for sure, and Christian, you probably know too, but you just now started getting into basketball. That's a dirty play. That was on purpose for her digging her knuckle in her face like that. And there's many more like it. But anyway, that went super viral. You're going to say something, Kerrigan, before
Yeah, and it's not the 80s anymore. Like, I remember watching basketball before you guys were born in the 80s. It was rough, man. Like, I was actually a fan back in the day of the Detroit Pistons. They were called the Bad Boys. They were called that not because they were, like, listening to the Michael Jackson song Bad, right? They would literally punch people, slam people. I mean, it was bad back in the 80s. But we're not in the 80s anymore. And this isn't men. This is women. So this is completely unacceptable.
Yeah, so that went super crazy. And again, they're always targeting Caitlin Clark. Well, this time they attacked Caitlin Clark, and this woman named Sophie Cunningham, who's her teammate on the Indiana Fever, came in her defense. And so I'm going to show you a clip from that. And this is also where the iconic meme comes from where she's pointing. So anyway, she's like pointing at her, and because that's the lady that, like, you know, they're already going after Kaden Clark, and then Sophie Cunningham is like defending her basically, because that's her teammate. So that's where the classic point. That's like Sophie Cunningham's first viral moment. Okay, just letting y'all know. And the reason, again, this is all important because it's like a timeline of things. This doesn't just happen overnight. This is a buildup of, let's just say, of Sophie getting canceled, right? So what happens is Sophie Cunningham one day is interviewed regarding the trans issue because I believe there was another WNBA player, and I don't even remember her name. She came out and said that she's in support of trans women if they want to be in the WNBA. She said they should be allowed to. And Sophie Cunningham was asked about it, and she said, "No, I strongly stand behind protecting women's sports and girls. Like, this is wrong. Like, 100%, just straight up." And this, my friends, this set off a fire. Eli probably knows this. You know this, Kerrigan too, and Christian. But the reason I say Eli is because when you start up the grill, you got to start it up, and there's got to be a starting point, and that's what that was right there, man. The grill's now started, and folks are about to be attacking Sophie like crazy. So after she came out in support of women, not fake women, protests started happening. Here's one of the clips from the protest. People started going to the Indiana Fever games when they would travel, and they would protest outside. I could show you guys a bunch of clips from protests, but I wanted to show you this one because this is just how delusional these people are. So check out this woman give the case of how men can be in women's sports and how this is okay.
Round picks came out yesterday and declared for the WNBA draft. Are you supportive of them?
Yeah, so if they truly were trans, then I would be perhaps supportive of them, but they're not.
Who determines who's really a woman, though?
I would say I would love to see them play against Asia Wilson and beat her. I doubt they would. So thank you so much. The truth is...
So that was in response to, which we're going to get into in a second.
She's delusional, man. She's so delusional.
Yeah, we're going to get to in a second of who she's actually talking to or talking about. But that was one of the protesters that I just had to show you guys. And they're delusional, man. This is what these women genuinely believe, that they have a chance against men who are 250 pounds, 6'7", 6'8", who can shoot from 40, who can dunk, and who, like, what? These people are off their rocker, man. So that happened. And then most recently, there was a really hard flagrant foul done on Sophie Cunningham in the wake of actually before we get to that, I want to talk more about some of these protesters. So what happened was there was these group of girls that went to a WNBA game in support of Sophie Cunningham, and they wore basically shirts that said "Thank you, Sophie," or "Protect the women," right? Protect girls. Nothing crazy. Well, here is the Seattle Storm's owner, Celeste Keaton. She was fined by the NBA and suspended for 5 games because she yelled at a bunch of minor girls who were just literally supporting Sophie Cunningham, and this is who she is right here. And here's the girls giving their account of this.
Signs that said, like, we love Sophie, like, thank you, Sophie, for speaking up. And so we were holding on, just watching the game. Again, like, we were being super great. We hadn't said anything to anyone else. We were being super respectful. We were just holding our signs and cheering for both teams. Mm-hmm. And this lady, older lady, comes up to us. And she comes up to us, and at first I think she's going to be nice. And then she asks, like, what are you guys doing? Something like that. And then it was like, Jesus loves everyone. That's what she told us. And I was like, oh, I know. Like, I'm religious. Like, I know. Like, I know. Nice. Yeah. And she's like, oh, I hope Jesus can forgive you for what sin you've done. And, like, something like that. And then she told us that we were effing insane. And that we
she's like, and she went like this.
Insane. Yeah.
She's like, you better stop this.
And stop pulling this. Yeah.
And
for you guys
I
to
hope
come
God
here
can
and
save
pull
you.
This. Yeah.
She said, for you to come here and pull this shit.
Yeah.
She said the word?
Yeah.
Did she say effing insane or?
No, she said the word. Yeah.
Oh,
she
my
said
God.
the word. Yeah.
So, And you described her to me as, like, what did she look like?
She was creepy old. Yeah.
Anyway, like they go more into it, but we later find out that that's the owner of the team, which is crazy, insane. And she's yelling at these girls that are probably, they look like they're maybe in high school, maybe like not even, maybe junior high, middle school, if you ask me. Why are you yelling at a bunch of little girls? Bro, what are you doing? Cussing
I'm
at
actually
them,
surprised that they suspended her. I'm actually surprised.
I am too. Well but you can't. I mean, at that point, I mean, you can't defend that. That's
So it
pretty
shows that even the WNBA, which I like to call the LNBA just to put it out there, ladies NBA or the big L. Anyway, they have a line they draw in the sand. So even they have standards of some kind of sort. The question is, where do they get those standards from?
Yep, I agree. Yes, that they do, Sonia. They do rely on funding from the NBA, but that might actually not be true as of this year. I think that might have changed due to Caitlyn and the popularity growing. Okay, so anyway, so those are the protests, and that's kind of like the backlash of it with Sophie Cunningham. Then you also have the coach of the very next game that they play of the Indiana Fever, where they go to an away game. Cheryl Reeve, the head coach of Minnesota Lynx, does this. Check this out.
Well, we see Cheryl Reeve wearing a shirt today in support of trans kids. Trans kids belong on the shirt. Just in the aftermath of Sophie Cunningham's recent comments, we actually saw Cheryl and Sophie speaking at center court pregame. And yesterday, Cheryl Reeve spent.
So anyway, she's wearing a Trans Kids Belong shirt. It's weird, just straight weird. Coach the game. And I'm going to play some clips from Stephen A. Smith later on, because I think he made a lot of good points about how people feel about the WNBA and how it's not our fault. And the reason why it's not our fault, he's going to say later, is because when they do stuff like this, it gives us ammunition. And when I say us, that's what Stephen A. He's talking about, the right wing or the Christians. He's saying you're giving them ammunition to come against your league because you're doing things that are stupid. And he said that that's dumb, right? So anyway, that happens. Then, and again, this is all just hilarious to me because the WNBA is like self-sabotaging, man. So Sophie Cunningham has another game, and this happens right here. Check this out.
That is just.
Oh, sorry.
Here's Cunningham up ahead of the field, lays it in, plus the foul.
So she gets an and one, and from that angle, you can't really tell that it was that bad. Like she just gets fouled, right? But look at this. Sophie gets up and starts trying to do her thing.
Cunningham gets into the face of Dejanay Carrington right away in the aftermath. And Cunningham has to be separated.
So they're gonna show a slow motion replay, and you're gonna see how bad this foul was, and that it was intentional.
Sophie Cunningham comes down, gets her right across the face, coming down, trying to prevent the layup, but that is just a hard hit. That's definitely going to be upgraded, I think, to a flagrant too, Ryan.
I think that is.
So here, I'll slow it down actually a little bit more, because I want you guys to see. Look at the wind up here. And again, if you play basketball like me and the brothers do sometimes at Fellowship, almost every Sunday, like it's hard to foul someone like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that don't just happen. So
You're obviously trying to injure somebody when you do
Yeah.
that. It's obvious.
And when you're going for a block, you don't, like when you're from behind someone, you don't wind back, right? You want your shoulders like forward, and you want to get up and you want to get forward in front of the ball. That's what you want to do. You don't want to go like this. So anyway, and then look where she's aiming. Just look at it.
Across the face, coming down.
Look at that. She didn't even go for the ball. So anyway, that happens, and she gets suspended, thankfully.
And
the
bro,
chick.
just to jump in for a second,
Yeah, go ahead.
if you listen to the announcers on those clips, who obviously they fit in with the WNBA. If they're announcing the games, they fit in like culture wise with the WNBA. And the refs, same thing with the refs. So they're having like conservative, political, right wing activists announcing the game and giving commentary and refereeing the game. They're in the same league with the WNBA, and they made it very abundantly clear. There's different levels of flagrant fouls. This is the worst level, and everybody unanimously were saying definitely the worst foul. She's out of the game. She's going to get suspended. All that kind of stuff.
Yep. So she's sent to the locker room. She's ejected immediately from the game because it's a flagrant 2. That's what happens in a flagrant 2. And this is what she tweets.
Yeah, bro.
That's
When I saw that, saw someone say it was I think it was Babylon B. They had a meme that where it wasn't Sophie Cunningham. It was Caitlin Clark on the floor in the meme and saying, "White privilege feels like a black lesbian beating me up."
Oh,
what it
yeah. You
said.
sent me that, actually. That was funny.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what it looks like. I mean, that's what white privilege looks like, getting beaten up. What privilege is there in that? Who wants to get beat up or get taken out from behind and possibly, I mean, she could have, you look at the fall, bro, she could have broke her wrist. She could have got seriously injured from that, man. And like, I've been playing basketball since I was 14. So over 34 years now. And if I ever, like, if it was an accident where I'm going up to block someone's shot and I think they're going to get injured, I'm trying to catch them. I'm trying to catch them to make sure they're not going to fall out and hurt themselves because I'm not trying to hurt anybody.
Yeah. She clearly didn't have any regard for Sophie there. So, and then after her tweet goes viral for blaming white privilege for her being ejected, she now goes to X and tries to say that she didn't do what she did, even though she tweeted this in the locker room in response to getting ejected. So let's just read what this young scholar, and you'll see why I said that, has to say. I've never once claimed that the assessment of the foul was white privilege. That was your assumption. Try exercising your critical thinking skills. I know you study psych. She's responding to Emmanuel Ocho, who, by the way, this Emmanuel guy is super, he's super progressive.
I can't believe he's responding to her in a negative way because
I know
when I saw him on the screen, I was like, "Oh no, what's he gonna say now?"
Yeah, he's super progressive. Like he's like he's worse. He's horrible. But anyway, so it's funny how the left will eat their own, just like Charlie says, right? But look, so she says, I know you studied psychology. Furthermore, I'm the last, in all caps, thing from ignorant, or is that a word that I'm allowed to say?
Asinine, yeah, that's okay.
Okay, I don't know if that's okay. I'm black, I'm not literate. Okay, when it comes to speaking on, quote, white privilege, do your research on that one. I actually went to school, one of the top universities, might I add. Well, now we see the issues, probably. To educate myself on this exact subject. So she went to school, Kerrigan, at one of the top universities just to educate herself on white privilege. That's what she
They have a course on white privilege?
Yeah, oh yeah. That's all over. Oh yeah. At Auburn even. Yeah. There's probably, bro, you could go to UT Austin, go to like the Student Admission Center and look through all the classes that they have available.
Maybe I'll take a class on it.
Then you can say that you're an expert on it. And then she said, I would never use that term as a rhetorical weapon, knowing the historical and social weight it holds without having the proper evidence to substantiate it. And then she proceeds to not give any evidence for that. One of my buddies, John Root, actually says, where's the substantial evidence? She doesn't respond. Yeah. Anyway, comments get a little bit rude. But so that happened like literally 2 days ago. Not even exaggerating, right? Like the whole response and the tweets and all that stuff. That's all very new. Now let's get to what we really are here for. Now that we've built up to this whole thing. So the WNBA has been standing behind these trans rights and all this stuff they want to say. So guess what some former NBA players decided to do? Well, let's start with Enes Kanter. Oh.
Listen to what he said.
Yeah,
After careful consideration and reviewing the current eligibility guidelines, I am officially declaring myself a WNBA prospect. If simply declaring who you are is all that's required, then I meet every single requirement necessary to compete in the WNBA. My team and I have carefully examined the WNBA's eligibility criteria and governing framework surrounding self-identification and inclusion. Based on the current guidelines, I can and am officially declaring my eligibility for the upcoming WNBA draft in May 2027. I am definitely not here to mock, make fun of, or disrespect any community or personal choices. I am simply asking that the current rules be applied equally to everyone. The rules that represent the very values many WNBA players and coaches have publicly advocated for. My team and I are prepared to ensure these guidelines are applied equally, consistently, and without exception. And I look forward to the WNBA honoring its stated principles. See you at training camp.
By the way, for those of you who want to summarily dismiss
So, and we're again, Stephen A probably has one of the best shows on this topic because he is, out of everyone, I think someone who he typically leans left on things, but on this issue, he's so good on it, man. I'm telling you, he's so good on it. And he can speak to an audience that like we can't reach as far as this issue goes. So anyway, that was Enes Kanter Freedom, who is like 6'8". 6'8"? How tall is he?
I think he's like probably 6'10", actually. If he was in WNBA, he would get 50 points and 30 rebounds a game.
He's 6'10", 250.
It's a big guy, man.
Bro, who's stopping him, bro?
Nobody.
If I'm an owner of the WNBA, it's a free ring. It's a free ring, bro. Come on, bro. We love to I'm sorry. Come on, sis. We love to have you. We love to have you, right? We just want to be inclusive. Former NBA first round draft pick, Royce White also had this to say.
Earlier this week, I made the announcement. I'm transgender. I'm a woman. I identify as sometimes identifying as a woman for purposes of basketball, professional basketball. So I'll be declaring for the WNBA draft in 2027 as well. Well, I mean, I think I'd be unstoppable. But I'm a team first guy. I'm a pass first kind of player. I do the little things. I led my team in all 5 major stat categories at Iowa State University. So I do a little bit of everything. I'll do whatever the coach needs me to do. I'll do whatever the girls need me to do.
Ladies and gentlemen,
he'll do whatever you need him to do. I mean, I don't see what's wrong with that. If it's not breaking any rules, go ahead. Go ahead. Let's see what happens, WNBA. Let's see what happens.
About to become the co-ed league. The co-ed league. And it's so ridiculous, man. This is what happens when sinners go to the absurd lengths in their sin, that they get so debased and deranged in their mind by going down this path of actually being consistent with their sin. And people begin to hold them accountable. Now they have to step back and say, do we keep on going? Or do we actually be honest about this?
Yep. So in response to this, there's a lot of different responses, but I'm going to start with one of my favorite, and that's from Clay Travis. Clay Travis offered up $10 million to have the WNBA team, you'll see.
Franchise. As the primary owner of that franchise, I will bring them to my hometown where I do this show from, Nashville, Tennessee. I will pledge that 100% of my team will be trans. That will be men pretending to be women. Our entire coaching staff will be trans. That is men pretending to be women. We will not lose a single game. There are probably some games, Buck, where we will not even give up a single point. I will call this team the Nashville Balls, and I will become a dynastic sports owner. I will own a WNBA franchise. I will buy it, and I will play only men who identify as women. We'll wear wigs. We'll run around, do whatever we need to do to be officially classified as identifying as women. This is what they're now saying is permitted. I will do it. I will buy a team. I'll put my money where my mouth is. Secondly, before, Buck, you remember, I offered $1 million if the WNBA champ, which is right now the Las Vegas Aces, I believe, if they would play a boys high school state championship team of my choosing, I would give $1 million to the winning team. Buck, I will now give $10 million to the winning team. We will put this on pay-per-view. We will send all the profits, of which there will be probably tens of millions, to Tunnel to Towers, T2T.org, our good friends there, for mortgage-free homes for veterans, the families of veterans, first responders, police, people who have lost their lives defending this country. $10 million. I will wheel it out. I don't even know how much space $10 million. We'll dump truck it out, put it in the arena. A boys' high school team will get $10 million if they win the WNBA. They say that they're underpaid. They say that they're as good as men. Let's decide it once and for all. And I think you have to be hyperbolic to respond to the absurdity here, because if you are not, then they will just continue to chirp. They'll continue to talk. So I think you have to put money behind your words. I am taking them at their words, and I will put $10 million, boys high school team, state champ of my choice, versus WNBA, and or I will also purchase a WNBA franchise. And
so he's not playing.
Yeah, put his money where his mouth is.
I actually didn't know about so I do apologize for that. I didn't know about the WNBA team. I actually just I only saw the second half of that, so I do apologize for that. I don't condone doing all that naming your team, the whatever balls, whatever. But I will say, I would pay a lot of money to watch the Las Vegas Aces versus a high school team. Like I would contribute to that $10 million. So, not much though. I mean, I only got so much.
I'd watch the highlights.
You watch the highlights? Bro, I'd go to the game, bro. I mean, it's going to be a slaughter fest. I mean, there's not going to be much to watch. It's not going to be enjoyable to watch. It's kind of like the Harlem Globetrotters. What's the team they always play against that travels with them that just suck on purpose? I can't remember what the name is. But, yeah, the Harlem Globetrotters play this other team. They always destroy them, always beat them really bad. And it's never anything new. It's like, why would I want to watch a slaughter fest? I want to watch something that's actually competitive and challenging if I'm going to watch it at all. And this is not going to be competitive. Like he said, no matter how evil he is, he has points that there probably won't be points scored by the girls' team. And if there is, it's going to be like a lucky shot or like lazy defense at one point. Yeah, or I mean, they might just get like lazy defense because like they are already blowing them out and like okay, whatever, and they've won their $10 million. But yeah, so then the WNBA actually put out a statement. I think this is important to point out. To everyone who loves this game, the WNBPA represents, and I think that's the Players Association, represents 200 plus individual people with different lived experiences, cultures, lifestyles, and opinions. We embrace justice, equity, diversity, and inclusion. Those are the values that unite this union and allow it to protect women's sports while creating transformational change. That's an interesting word. Why would you use that word? While creating transformational change. I'm sorry. Hate, abuse, and demonization of any person or group of people, including transgender people, only fuel fear, division, and harm. We will continue to have hard conversations, but we will not be used as political pawns. Support the players, support the fans at games, notify security, blah, blah, blah. But anyway, so now they're having conversations about it, and they literally just had a meeting actually today or yesterday. Some council and the commissioner had a meeting regarding changing the language of their, league constitution or whatever, and how they would allow certain people to play. So they're figuring that out. But my whole point is, and this is Stephen A. points too, I think I've taken too much time on the segment, so I'm actually not going to play it. But the point is that it's a shame that we've reached this point in the first place. We should have never gotten to this point at all, where we're having to figure out whether or not biological men should be able to play in a woman's sport. And like you said, Kerrigan, earlier, this is just pointing out how the absurdity of sinners are, right? If you are someone who supports sin, sin's just gonna, you know how the Bible talks about how sin blinds you? And honestly, bro, I think just sin just makes people dumber and dumber. And that's what's happening to the society. It's just getting dumb. We can't even, it's in the name, women's NBA, right? Women. But the contention now is, what is a woman?
Right.
They can't even answer that now.
And Romans 1 talks about, like you're saying, that I think the New King James says they're turn over to a debased mind. I think King James says turn over to a reprobate mind. And in the context, it's actually talking about sexual perversion. Mm-hmm. This is exactly the kind of debasement it leads to, reprobation it leads to, where people are just people just don't see it. They don't see it for what it is. And that announcement they made, that statement they made, was a whole lot of nothing. It was nothing. They said nothing. They just basically repeated what they already believed. And so, yeah, I'm wondering, I'm interested to see what's going to happen next. Here's my guess about what they're going to do. I think they're going to say something to the effect of, you have to have had either top or bottom surgery or both. You have to have taken like hormones, hormone blockers, something like that. Because listen, I don't watch WNBA, but I've seen some highlights, and it wouldn't surprise me if there was already a man, a biological man, the chromosomes match up to what he was born as, already in the WNBA. It's hard to tell these days. It really is. So it wouldn't surprise me if they did like an actual scientific test, like a blood test. You probably would find one already. But either way, they're going to have to do something to figure this out, because they want to support trans people. But when someone comes out, these guys, Royce and Cantor, Enos Cantor, they're not really, I think they're just, for the most part, mocking in a way where they're trying to make them be consistent. We'll see what happens. I doubt they'll actually play a single second in a WNBA, but that's what I think is going to happen.
Yeah, I definitely agree. But here's the thing, here's where I'm going to push back a little bit, Kerrigan. If they make this rule, right, saying that you have to have top or bottom surgery or both, or you have to show us proof that you're on some sort of hormone treatment, isn't that already granting the fact that there are biological differences between men and women? If it is grounded in biology, can you change your biology? And if you can't change your biology and it's grounded in biology, then that means that you cannot become a woman under their own worldview, right? Because if I have to change anything physical about me, then that means that your definition of a woman falls apart because you are relying on biology.
Well, I mean, here's the thing, bro. They won't even define what a woman is. So they can't even tell us what a woman is, but they have it in the title of their business, Women's MBA. And so, and of course, what you just said was really good points, but it assumes that they're going to be consistent. My assumption is they'll continue to not be consistent. Right. Continue to press forward in their debasement and perversion of mind, and like the rest of this world, going towards destruction.
Totally agree. That's all. I mean, I actually had a couple more. I just don't want to run this segment too long. I think you guys get the gist of it. But if you want to stay updated, again, go to X, and I would recommend following a guy named John Root on X. He covers this stuff very, very well. He has a lot of good sources that he's in the sports world, and he has a really good perspective on the issue as a whole. So I recommend go check out Johnny Root on X. He's really good at that for covering this. But without further ado, I'll go ahead and hand it over to Brother Kerrigan for his segment.
All right, it's time for Apologetics Corner. right. Amen. So it's time for Apologetics Corner. And apologetics comes from the Greek word apologia, which means to give a defense in 1 Peter 3:15. And of course, we always want to love God with all our heart, soul, mind, and strength. So it's good to know how to defend the faith. It's good to know how to think properly, thinking God's thoughts after him. And when it comes to logic and reason, which we're going to talk about today, logic and reason is simply a reflection of the mind of God. True logic, true reason is thinking God's thoughts after him. Okay? And so oftentimes in our evangelistic encounters, we're seeking to make people be consistent, to think properly. They might come to a knowledge of the truth, right? You're not going to think anyone into the kingdom. You're not going to convince anyone into the kingdom through apologetics, but it's a necessary tool to use to show those who think they're wise that they actually are fools in God's sight. Not because you want to make fun of them or put them down, but because you want them to see the truth about themselves, that they might come to a full knowledge of the truth and give glory to God, the one who made them and made their minds in the first place, and then begin to think God's thoughts after him as well. So today we're going to talk about a logical fallacy. The logical fallacy is simply a wrong way of thinking. You're not thinking properly. And so we have standards of logic of what people should think. And of course, those standards come from God himself. The logical fallacy we're dealing with today is called the straw man fallacy. The straw man fallacy is changing or exaggerating the opponent's position, someone who you're reasoning with. You're changing or modifying or exaggerating their position to make it easier to refute. And so this happens all the time when I'm on the streets. In fact, it happens so often. It happened, I think maybe a month ago. I was out there by myself preaching the word of God. I'm going to get to that clip here in a little bit, but it happened then. And so let me give you some examples of a straw man argument. Let's say Brother Jaden, he's 16 years old, living at home with mom, and he's spending, 4 or 5 hours a day playing video games, staying up till late at night. It sounds like a pretty real scenario. Staying up to 2 o'clock in the morning playing video games. He's not getting up on time for school. He's not doing his homework. And his mom, she's concerned because she loves him. She says, Jaden, I really think you're spending too much time on the PS5. It was probably PS4 back then, but PS5. And Jaden's response, here comes the straw man argument, straw man fallacy. Sure, Mom, I'll just go put my PS5 in the trash because it's worthless in my life. And I won't ever play video games ever again. And you see, what Jaden just did, he took what his mom said and he exaggerated it to the point where it's not even close to what she actually said. That's called a straw man fallacy. Or take Brother Christian, for example. Brother Christian and Brother Jaden have documented. You can have a documentary on this. It's so documented. Their problem with finding a good barber. And so, I've tried to talk to Chris about, trusting his wife to let her, learn how to cut his hair, and he's really opposed to that. Not because he doesn't trust his wife, but because he just knows his hair is really hard to cut with the kind of hair he has. And it'd be like me talking to Brother Christian last Sunday. Say, brother, instead of spending this much money on a barber, instead of looking for a barber, and the barbers are always showing up late and not doing a good job, and you're paying them anyway, right? Just let your wife learn. And then Brother Christian gets upset with me. This doesn't happen in real life, obviously, but he gets upset and says, okay, I'll just be bald then, brother. I'll just shave it all off and be bald the rest of my life, and I'll never go to a barber ever again. Now, is that what I said? Did I tell him, I'm bald. You can see for yourself. I got a little bit left on top, but I nowadays you put a 2 attachment on it, or my wife does it for me, and just cut everything to that length. And so I don't want Brother Christian. He got a nice head of hair. You ever seen his hair before? He's got a hat on right now. That brother's got a nice head of hair. Like, I don't know if I ever had hair like that. And so I don't want him to be bald like me, but that would be him exaggerating it and misrepresenting what I'm actually saying to make me look bad or to make it easier to knock down what I'm saying, because he doesn't really want to deal with what I'm actually saying. Or maybe there's a debate between a Republican and a Democrat for president or for vice president or whatever it may be. And the Republican says, I think we need to have a border wall We're going to have one on the Mexican border, and we're going to start working on one on the Canadian border. And the Democrat says, is this really who you want to be president? Someone who hates Mexicans? Someone who hates Canadians? Someone who hates immigrants? Is this real? I mean, this nation was built on immigration. How dare we elect someone who hates immigrants? And this is actually kind of real. This kind of stuff does kind of happen every once in a while if you follow politics at all. You just, not that you're involved in it and voting, all that kind of stuff, but just keeping up with the world around you, what we should be doing. I mean, that's kind of what you can see sometimes. That's a straw man argument. It's a straw man fallacy. Or what about WNBA? We just talked about this. And you have Sophie Cunningham, who, herself, she's not like a Christian or that, but she's a sinner, but she's standing up for women and women's sports and girls and girls' sports. And she says, well, I think the only people who should be playing sports and women's sports is actually girls, biological girls from birth. And people say, oh, you hate trans people. Oh, you're being judgmental of them. They're struggling with this. How dare you exclude them from the WNBA and not let them belong with all of us? See? Another example of a straw man argument, a straw man fallacy. And last, I'll give you one other example. And we experienced a lot on this. Actually, I'll give you two more examples. We experienced the last one a lot in the street, but the next one I'll talk about is abortion activism. Now, you guys have probably, most of you have seen Abolitionists Rising. And so you see these things probably quite often if you watch those videos, like the short reels of it. And oftentimes they'll have this big sign that has something about it against abortion on it. And it'll say, you hate women. You just want women to have back alley abortions. And they're going to end up dying from their back alley abortions. And the guy's sign says nothing about hating women, about wanting back alley abortions, or anything of the sort. He simply loves little children who are being slaughtered in the womb and doesn't want them to be slaughtered anymore. So he's standing up for their rights. And then lastly, this is something if you watch any of our videos, you see this all the time. If we talk about repentance of sin for salvation, if we talk about Christians living holy lives, if we talk about the fact that a true Christian can fall away from the faith, depart from the faith, and be cut off in the end, they'll say, oh, it's works salvation. And I'll say, well, did you hear me say anything about works salvation? Can you define works salvation for me from the Bible? And so in all these situations, it's called a straw man argument because it's not a real man. It's like a straw man out in a field. It's like a scarecrow. Now, the crows may think it's a real person, and maybe that's why it scares them away. But when someone misrepresents what you believe or what the truth is, you dare not be scared like those crows are. You dare not let them bully you around and misrepresent your position. And it takes some time to figure this out, to see through it, and to know that it's actually going on. But we need to train our minds to think logically and to see these things. So the last example I'll give is actually a video example. And so I'm going to share my screen. And like I said, this is from one of my most recent open-air preaching videos. Let me see here. There it is. And I want you to listen. This is a guy. You can see the guy on the bike here. He moves people back and forth. They sit here on the back of it, and he's got an electric bike. And I had some interaction with him earlier that night, and this is towards the end of the night. I had more interaction with him, and the issue is about modesty, because that came out a lot that night, about women dressing immodestly and how women should dress, because what the Bible says about those things. And so he has some issues with that, and so this is how the conversation goes.
You repent. He doesn't want you to perish in your sins. He wants. Okay, go ahead.
Since we're talking about obviously you're not supposed to walk around in church naked, or, like in public, some exposure. But we're outside, so like, should all these women be walking around in burqas with their face covered?
You keep making that logical fallacy. It's a logical fallacy that hold on. You want to add a question? Let me answer it. It's a logical fallacy to say because I'm preaching about modesty, like the Bible says, that equals women wearing burqas. It's a logical fallacy, man. Come on, think it through. Think logically. Women can cover up their chest, they can cover up their backside, and wear loose clothing and not be a Muslim, right? Okay, that's all I'm talking about. We got there. I'm glad we got there.
That was good.
You're muted, by the way, Kerrigan. That was good too. Yeah, that was good, by the way.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, so that, you can see in this logical fallacy, it came out right in the open. And what you do with a straw man argument, you don't submit to it as if it is your argument. You take a club or a baseball bat and knock it down with them. And say, listen, that's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying women should wear burqas. This has come up before, too. It's like, no, I'm not saying women should. I do believe women should wear head coverings if they're a Christian when they pray or prophesy. That's what the Bible says in 1 Corinthians 11. But that's not a burqa, and I'm not a Muslim, and women don't have to cover everything. I mean, some Muslim countries have to cover even their eyes, right? So it's just absurd. So he's going to the exaggerated extreme about modesty, and I'm simply talking about biblical modesty. So you can see I'm refuting his claim. I'm restating what I believe, and we're both knocking down the straw man together so we can come to a proper conclusion on what I'm actually trying to communicate. And so this is how you combat it. You look for it. You have to train your mind to look for it at first. You have to see it for what it is. Don't give in to that false guilt, that false representation of your position. Agree with them that that straw man is actually wrong and not the real man of what you believe, and then bring a proper understanding of what you believe to bring correction and reiterate the truth. And so it's in this, in our culture, this he got cooked culture, it's important to be able to spot these logical fallacies in this culture, because if you don't, people are, oh, he got cooked because he thinks you're supposed to wear burqas, women's supposed to wear burqas. That's not what I believe. So I'm not getting cooked. You're just, you think you're cooking me, but you're really not. And the last thing I'll say, and I'll turn it over to your brothers, is that when it comes to a logical fallacy like this, a straw man argument, not only should we be able to look at it for ourselves and see it for what it is and be able to refute it and respond to it properly, we also need to make sure we're not doing it ourselves. Right? Because if we don't want someone to misrepresent what we believe, then surely we shouldn't misrepresent what they believe. Now, this takes time. Like, if someone's coming up to you and wants to talk about their position, it may take time to actually listen to them and see what they have to say. As the scripture says, be slow to speak, quick to listen, slow to become angry. And so you should do that with people who have contrary positions to you. Now, once you understand what they believe, have at it refuting it, right? But don't refute a straw man that someone else doesn't believe either. You love your neighbor as yourself. So we want to be represented properly. We should represent other people properly. Hear what they have to say and deal with it. Brothers?
Yeah, no, that those are good examples, bro. And it actually sharpened me and my understanding as well. For identifying that behavior, because like you said, we see that all the time when we go out and preach, or maybe even one-on-one encounters that kind of go south. I would say just knowing what you believe and being able to regurgitate it accurately would also help you pinpoint that this person is straw manning you. I've read this verse or these verses in the past, but Proverbs 26:4-5 actually comes to mind again, where it says, answer not a fool according to his folly, lest thou be also like unto him. Answer a fool according to his folly, lest he be wise in his own conceit. And of course, you want to, obviously be discerning when to engage someone in their, logical fallacy to correct it, because it might be in a group setting where, like Brother Kerrigan was mentioning, he got cooked culture. A lot of people may be surrounding you on a college campus where someone is, gaslighting you and, making you think that you said something that you actually didn't, and even using straw man arguments as well. And, from the outside perspective, from someone who's not grounded in the truth themselves, and they're looking at this, they may believe that, oh, this guy who's coming on this campus is getting cooked. He doesn't know what he's talking about, which is why I said that you must know what you believe in order to pinpoint and accurately define terms, definitions, be able to pinpoint, back to the gospel, because that's of course what, what matters most, triumphantly is being able to pinpoint it back to the gospel. If you don't know anything, make sure you know the gospel, because that's always the safe zone for any Christian when they're preaching. If you jumped into a territory that you're not, familiar with, well, jump into a territory you are familiar with. And, if you don't know the gospel or can't proclaim it with, any sort of knowledge or boldness or understanding, then you probably should wait to go out to share your faith in the first place. And so, I've had many encounters where, there'll be a student on a college campus or whatever that, just outright misaligns or misrepresents what I have said and exaggerate it. And, I always take them back to what I actually said and clarify them, and also share with them what I actually believe and how you're, actually misaligning my beliefs here. And then, I always try to get them back to the gospel, of course, because that's what matters most for their soul. And so, yeah, that's what I would say.
I would also say, just to add to what Kerrigan said, make sure that you're able to repeat back to them their arguments so that they know that you're listening. And it even helps you when you say their argument out loud, it helps you maybe formulate a response. And I actually want to give an example of this. This is from my debate literally last night against Dean Withers. What is the comments? What is the Jaden point? I don't know what that means. Anyway, but this is Dean Withers, and if you guys know Dean Withers, he has millions. He's like a leftist, really popular. But we were arguing on whether or not Christians can be pro-choice, and I repeated back his argument to him, and then I went on to refute it. But it was very charitable, and this is just a great example of me just doing exactly what Kerrigan would say. Like, don't straw man it, steel man it. It's called steel manning. And you don't give a weaker version of the argument either. You give the best version, or the version that they gave, back to them.
Yeah. So let's start with the last thing that you said, and it's pretty much what you repeated from earlier. And I understand why you bring it up, and it's because it's to undermine the fact that Jesus wasn't fully a human yet, or not even a human, or that wasn't Jesus at all, because he didn't have the body and the soul at that time. This would undermine the idea that hypostatic union would happen prior to 24 weeks, and therefore would entail that it wouldn't be a heresy. So I'm tracking your argument. Is that correct? Right?
I think that's correct. If you say anything incorrect, I'll tell you.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure that I steel manned it perfectly.
Yeah. Like.
So anyway, that's like an example.
He doesn't know what his argument is. He doesn't know what his argument.
He does. I think he was sort of listening. Maybe.
Oh, okay.
Dean definitely knows his argument for sure. Dean's he's good at debating. But I don't know if y'all noticed this, by the way. But every time Christian said pinpoint, I was like,
yeah.
Exactly. I don't think Christian was
I didn't even notice that.
I thought it was funny. But anyway, but then I also asked him, I just want to make sure, did I get that right? So that when I go on to destroy their argument, they can't go back and say, oh, well, I didn't say that. Oh, yeah, you did. You know what I'm saying? Like, also, so that, because that happens a lot too, even on the streets. Oh, I didn't say that, or where did I say that, And, then you can get lost in the sauce, and now you're moving from the actual debate to the meta. And I'm sure Kerrigan might get into this later, but meta is when you're debating about the debate. So you're not even debating anymore. You're debating about what the debate is, and it's just a waste of time. So anyway, I really love this, Kerrigan. I really appreciate you doing this, because it helps us a lot, but also it strengthens us to be able to make sure that we're formulating our arguments properly and respecting the person that we're talking to as an image bearer of God as well. So yeah. Also, now I see why they're doing the Jaden with the arrow. It's not arrow, but hand. It's because I was pointing.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's right. Yeah. I mean, it's so important to represent the person properly. And it could be even like a debate over YouTube, or not a debate, a discussion about things. And, it's good to just quote them back. Just take what they said and said, you said this. This is what you mean by this. Yeah, okay, well, here's my response to that. And to be very thorough in your response to what they're saying. And so, I want to touch on what Christian said, that the verses from, I think it was Proverbs 26, do not respond to a fool according to his folly, lest you be like him. Respond to a fool according to his folly. And what's the last part of that, bro?
Unless he be wise in his own conceit.
Yeah, so that is a great scripture to use for apologetics, because the example of the first part, what you shouldn't do, would be submitting to the straw man fallacy, agreeing with him that it is your position, then he knocks it down, you look like a fool. So that would be like responding according to his folly. Not responding according to his folly would be not submitting to the straw man fallacy as if it is your position, and you knock it down with him and then tell him the truth again so he understands properly what you're saying. And I'll say this too, like, it takes time to discern who you should give your time to and who you shouldn't. And the only way you can really figure these things out, who you should give your time to and who you shouldn't, is by actually doing it. And so you need to be doing it, and you need to be praying. And like that guy I shared a little clip of, after that conversation, he went back to it again, as if I had not just told him what I said. And I said, you know what? I talked to him all throughout the night. I said, you know what? I'm going to move on. You don't have ears to hear, so I'm going to move on from this and just go back to preaching. And you have to know how to do it, because there's so many people in this world who need Jesus, who need the truth, and you got to give your time to those who really want to hear it. Now, if there's a bunch of people who don't want to hear, you just preach the truth anyway, because God is glorified, and you're preaching for an audience of one. You're not necessarily preaching for people to get saved. You want them to get saved, but you're preaching for the audience of one and for the glory of God. And if anyone gets saved or everyone gets saved, God is still glorified through it. And so unless you both have anything else you want to add about this segment, that'll be the end of my segment.
I want to add something real quick before you play that intro or outro. I actually have another example. Last night I was debating the same topic, can Christians be pro-choice? And I was debating this dude named Nick or something like that, and he brought up Genesis to try to prove that Adam, first breath, that means that life begins at first breath. I stayed in Genesis chapter 2, took him down to Genesis chapter 2 to verse 21 to show Eve was formed from Adam's rib. Does that mean that life begins at first rib for women? Like, that's kind of ridiculous. Then I took him to Jeremiah chapter 20, verse 17. And actually, friends, I want you guys to see this. I want you guys to see this Bible verse, because this really equipped me to handle this issue, actually. Somebody in my chat actually gave this to me a couple weeks ago, and I don't see how you can get around it. And this is one of the best verses I've ever seen. It's probably my favorite verse regarding this issue, and no one has even told me about it before. So check this out. It's Jeremiah chapter 20, verse 17. And you can read the context of it if you want, but this will do for now. Because he did not kill me from the womb, that my mother might have been my grave, and her womb always enlarged with me. Look at that. Given any context at all, there's implications, meaning he was alive in the womb, and he could have been unalived in the womb, but he wasn't unalived in the womb, and he was thankful for that. That's just 3 implications that we can get along from those verses right there, right? So anyway, I used that, but then he was like, why are you using Jeremiah 1:5 where it says that I knew you before you were in your mother's womb? So you're saying that you were alive before you existed? And I kept telling him, I'm not talking about Jeremiah 1:5. I'm talking about Jeremiah chapter 20, verse 17. And it literally was like that for like the next 30 minutes. Like, it literally was like that. So anyway, just another example. And by the way, friends, I would not recommend using Jeremiah 1:5 for this debate, because God can know someone before they exist. Doesn't mean that you're alive at that time. But use Jeremiah 20, verse 17. That's really good. Anyway, go ahead, Kerrigan. Sorry.
Amen. Thanks for sharing that, brother. Yeah, so that will conclude Apologetics Corner. Take it
All
away, Brother
right.
Christian.
So now we have a new segment that I am gonna host. So it's called "Is That Bible?" and it's fairly simple, but I'll just read off the rules that I have for it. Um, so I'll read a Bible verse to both Brother Kerrigan and Jaden, and I'll start with Jaden, and then Kerrigan, and then we'll just keep alternating back and forth. Both of you must answer before the answer is revealed. And some verses are Bible, others have a word or phrase changed. And if one of you gets it right, that will be 1 point. And if you get the book right, that'll equal 1 point as well. And then if you get the chapter right, that'll be 2 points. And getting the verse right will be 3 points. So you can end up getting 7 points total for just one Bible verse if you get it right. And the only way you can get those additional points is if you answer correctly to begin with. And obviously the one with the most
what version
points.
is it in?
I did New King James for you guys.
New King James. Okay.
Yeah.
Just
just to help y'all. Because I know that's what y'all read. So, and obviously, whoever gets the most points will win. And so, with that said, are y'all ready for the first one?
Are you ready to rumble?
I'm gonna take that as a yes. All right. So the first one, again, these are easy, but as the segments progress, they will get harder. So the first one is, do not be overcome by evil, but overcome evil with love.
No, that's not what it says.
Okay.
It's not a Bible
Kerrigan?
verse.
It's overcome evil with good.
Okay.
I can tell you where it's from, too.
Okay, that would be correct. Since Jaden answered first, you can go first, Jaden.
Book is Romans.
Okay.
Romans chapter 12.
Okay.
And I'm going to go verse... Oh, man. I'm going to go verse 11. No, that's not good. That's not good.
Wait, I should actually add this. I didn't read this in the rules earlier, but if you can't complete it and Kerrigan gets it, he can take, all the points. Should I do that?
That's up to you. Wait. All the points? Wait, complete it? No. I just have to get the answer right.
It's his game, bro. It's his segment. Let him figure out what he wants to do. It's not your segment. It's his segment.
Oh.
So if I can't guess the Bible verse, I don't get any points at all? Then what's the point in going first? Like, that's, oh my, go ahead, dude. It's your segment.
All right. So, no, I'll just troll him, but
okay.
No. So man. with that, you have 4 points, Brother Kerrigan. Do you want to, complete it?
Oh, he got it right?
Yeah. Well, no, he didn't get the right verse. No, he got
okay. I'm gonna say Romans 12:23.
12:23. No, that's incorrect. So you got you both have 4 points. Wait. And I'm writing these down so that way I don't.
What's the verse?
How this works now?
Huh?
Because you told him that you basically told him that I was right in Romans 12. So then he got a free 4 points right there.
Oh yeah, I guess I didn't think that part through.
I was gonna say it anyway, bro.
And I also thought I know you were. I'm just saying, but also with just future reference. But also, bro, I thought if you get it right, then you move on to the next.
Just move on.
Question.
Yeah.
I thought that's how Bible trivia works. So
yeah,
I don't know, man.
That's true. Yeah, just having some refinement here. All right.
I think it should be 4-0 and then move on to the next question.
You don't want to do the
personally.
stealing? You don't want to do the stealing?
4-0. 4-0.
Yeah, because I got it right, and if I get it right, because I go first, then we move on.
He did answer correctly though. He did answer correctly though.
All right. Well, just let Christian figure out how he's gonna do this, bro.
Yeah. So Jaden has 4. What you got going on there, bro?
It's just a gnat, bro. It's just annoying. Go ahead.
No, I was saying since Kerrigan got his correct, he gets 1 point for the book that he got. So, so the next one is to Kerrigan, and it's death and life are in the power of the tongue, and those who love it will eat its fruit.
No, that's not right.
That's not right. Okay.
No, it's
What
life
about you,
and
Jake?
death, not death and life.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not right.
Wow. Okay. So both y'all.
I can tell you the exact
actually-
verse too.
Well, both y'all got it wrong. It's Proverbs. Well, it's Proverbs 18:21.
18:21. Yeah.
Yeah. It says, "Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and those who love it will eat its fruit."
Doesn't say.
Wait, that's like
I've been
that's like
quoting it wrong all these days.
That's like Mandela effect, bro. That's like
I've been
Mandela
quoting it
effect for
wrong
me,
all
bro.
these years.
Yeah, no, I thought I was
Honestly-
with Kerrigan on that too. Wait, but again, Christian, here's the thing though, because this is where I'm a little confused on the segment, because he said that and then gave his reasoning as to why. I heard the reasoning and I'm like, yeah, that's true, and so I'm gonna go with him. Like that's true, and then vice
Well, I mean-
versa. I'm not. Should I tell him
You
should
can
I
still-
explain my reasoning? Like just say yes or no and just move on? Or,
I
like,
mean, you
don't
can
know,
still
no.
get it wrong. I mean,
That's true.
you could think it's one thing and then it's actually not. But
Okay, I'm just trying to clarify. Okay, sorry.
no, yeah, you're good. So both y'all got that wrong. I was actually surprised that y'all got
Wow.
that wrong. Wow. Okay, so the next one is 1 Timothy chapter.
Bro just gave us the verse ahead of time.
So it's my turn. So I that is a real Bible verse. Yes.
Okay, we're gonna move on from that one. I'm all over the place tonight. Okay, so next one. Do not think that I came to bring peace on earth. I did not come to bring peace, but a sword.
Yeah, that's what Jesus said. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And
that's what Jesus said for sure.
Okay. And do you want to go for extra points, Brother Kerrigan?
Me? Am I going first or is Jaden going first?
Yeah, because I messed up his turn last time.
Why did he answer first then?
I guess that is true.
All right.
Well, there you go, Kerrigan. There you go. I gave it to you. You're welcome, bro. See, there you go.
Okay. So you want me to give the actual Bible verse?
Yeah.
What the
So
reference is?
yeah, you'll get extra points if you get the book, the chapter, and the verse.
Yeah. Can you quote it for me again?
Yeah, it's do not think that I come to bring peace on earth. I did not come to bring peace, but a sword.
Yeah, so it's definitely Matthew 10. I'm just trying to think of exactly what verse it is. I'm going to say it's verse 38.
No. For 3 points, you can, get it if you get it for that, Jaden.
Matthew 10. I know like the first 20 or so verses, he's talking about sending out the 12. Then you move on to, I'm going to say Matthew 10, verse like 27.
Nope. It's 34.
I almost said 34. I was thinking that. I was like, oh, man.
So what's the score? After that round, what is the score right now? Because I'm a little confused personally.
Yeah, so Kerrigan, he has 5 and you have 4.
So, but go back to the
How am I
Romans
losing?
12 one. What verse was that? You didn't tell us what verse that was.
That first one, that was Romans 12:21.
Oh, it's off by 2 verses.
Yeah.
Wait, how am I losing?
Well, so Kerrigan still gets a
Getting
point for
cooked.
getting the book correct, or getting the that if it was correct or not, because that's 1 point.
Oh, only one person can get it correct, but the other person can also get the chapter and verse if the other person.
Yeah,
can guess
like
the
if
chapter
you
and
got
verse.
it wrong, you couldn't continue to get extra points. But
Okay,
if,
all right.
if one of y'all
I
got
think
it right, you could continue to get extra points.
Okay, I see what you're saying. All right, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. All right, so the next one. As a dog returns to his own vomit, so a fool repeats his folly.
No, that's not what it says. It doesn't say repeats his folly. No.
Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't say that.
Wow. Both y'all got that wrong.
What? No, it doesn't say that. No, that's 2 Peter. Well, sorry.
Well, I mean, you can't get it anyways. You didn't answer it right, but it's Proverbs 26:11.
Well, but he's quoting Proverbs in 2 Peter though, right? Like I
Well,
know
That's
that.
where the confusion is. That's where the confusion is.
Yeah, it comes from
Oh, because he
Proverbs.
does change it in 2 Peter, doesn't he?
No,
A
I
little
think he
bit.
quotes two different proverbs. So 2 Peter 2:22 says, "But it's happened to him according to the true proverb: a dog returned to his own vomit, and a sow having washed to her wallowing in the mire." That's the part I thought he was quoting from 2 Peter.
Yeah, me too.
Well,
Dang it. That was but
There's
Christian,
also a
that's an
proverb.
example. But that's an example. Like you got us right there. That's pretty good, man.
Yeah. So
Man.
we got a next one. The heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Only God can know it.
Yes, that is accurate.
Okay, Jaden.
I actually don't think it says only God can know. I thought it was who can know it.
Wow, you got that right, bro.
Boom, 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 boom.
Wait a minute. That's okay. Can I say where it's from, or I can't say anything about that?
Well, yeah, because you got it wrong. But I mean, you could do it if you want to, give Jaden extra points.
No.
You want to continue to get extra points, Jaden?
I actually, this is gonna be a total guess. There's only 2 books that I can think that it's in, and one of them I think is Jeremiah. So I'm gonna guess Jeremiah.
Okay, that's correct.
For the book. I don't remember the chapter or verse. So I was gonna totally take a gander on this.
Okay,
Jeremiah chapter 10, verse 15. Like I don't really. Okay, that's fine.
17:9.
Yep.
See, the reason why I thought it said that, because in verse 10 it says, "I, the Lord, search the heart. I test the mind." That's why I thought it said that.
The reason I remember who can know it is because the one saved, always saved, free gracers, all love that, man. They love that one. So anyway, sorry.
All right, so Kerrigan's at 5, Jaden's at 6. Going on to the next. Let every man be swift to hear, slow to speak, and careful to judge.
Sorry, can you repeat it? I wasn't paying attention because I forgot I'm going first, right?
Yeah, so
okay.
Let every man be swift to hear, slow to speak, and careful to judge.
Yeah, that's what it says.
Okay.
Nope, that's not what it says.
Wait,
well, actually, I quoted earlier. I quoted earlier.
Wait, did I mishear you? Did you say swift? Wait, what did you say?
It's slow to speak, quick to listen, slow to become angry.
What did you say, Christian?
I said, let every man be swift to hear, slow to speak, and careful to judge.
Yep.
Oh man,
and that's
you
from,
got me on that.
That's from the book of James,
Yep,
chapter
James,
1.
Yeah.
No, don't help me, bro. You give me
Sorry.
some points, you help me.
I keep forgetting.
Chapter 1, and I'm gonna say, oh man,
come on, bro.
I want to say like 24. That's probably wrong.
It's 19.
Yeah.
I almost said 17. I didn't say that.
It comes. Yeah, it comes. Well, no. It comes after James 1:17, which is one of my favorite Bible verses, and James 1:9. Yeah, I would have got that.
Oh, okay.
Really?
If you say so. So what's the points now, bro?
9 now. So you're at 9,
right?
and Jaden's at 6.
Oh, because he got the chapter in book. Okay, yeah. Okay.
All right. So next one, Kerrigan can go first. A good man is better than precious ointment in the day of the death. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me start over. I don't want to confuse y'all. A good name is better than precious ointment in the day of death than the day of one's birth.
I'm going to say no, that's not right. That's not right.
Okay. Jaden?
Can you read it for me again?
Yeah. A good name is better than precious ointment and the day of death than the day of one's birth.
I don't think that's right either.
Okay. So you both got it wrong. It's Ecclesiastes 7:1.
See, I knew the first part was, I didn't think the
Me
second
too.
part went along with it. I thought there was something after that about, and like fly in an ointment it's something like, that's what I thought it was. It was talking about having a bad name, having your reputation ruined. But go ahead,
All right. Wow.
Wow.
Okay, so moving on. Jaden, you go first. Excuse me. Whatever a man believes, that he will also receive. Excuse me.
No, that's not what it says.
Okay, Kerrigan.
Say that again, bro.
Whatever a man believes, that he will also receive.
Nah.
That's not what it said. Yeah.
No, yeah. Y'all both got it right. So
Okay.
Okay.
I thought you were pulling Ecclesiastes on me again. I was like, bro, I better not get that one wrong. That sounds like something that some kind of pagan would say or some New Ager would say.
No, so it's obviously in reference, because it's taken certain phrases out, but it's in reference to Galatians chapter 6, verse 7. So, but yeah, so y'all got it right. So that's one for both.
So was that 7 to 10 or 7 to 11? What is that?
10-8.
10, yeah,
10-8?
10-7.
10-7?
Yeah,
10-7.
About right.
Do I have enough questions to come back? How many questions is left? Do you know, Christian?
Let's see. 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah. Yeah, you got 4 more. So
maybe.
Next one.
All right.
Yep, maybe. Next one. Woe to those who call evil good and good evil, who put darkness for light and light for darkness.
Am I going first?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know where it is too.
Okay, Jaden.
Yep. That's
Okay.
exactly what it says.
Okay, so
am I gonna guess what it is?
Yeah, you can go ahead and guess what it is, unless you want Jaden to go first, and then.
No. He's not going first on this one.
Because it's funny because I remember us reading this and we were like, man, we got to use this on the streets more, and
Who said that? You guys said that? Okay, I use it all the
all
time.
3 of us did.
Isaiah
Okay,
5:20.
Okay, that's it. That's 7 points right there.
Yeah.
I'm dead, man.
All right, so
see, I gotta get like a passage like that where I'm going first, so I can like get that passage, and then I can come back.
He's saying you're being unfair, bro. That's what he's saying.
No, he's being fair. He is being really fair. He is being fair. This is good.
All right, next one. But with prayer will also make the way of escape.
No.
Okay.
No, that's not it. I can tell you where it is too if Jaden doesn't get it right.
Okay. Yeah, so y'all both got that right. Go ahead, Jaden.
1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 15. Don't tell me. No, wait, no. I think it's. Is it 14? Is it 14? Is it 14? Is it 14? Is it 14?
It's 13. It's 13.
What? Wait, because I wait. With prayer, hang on. We'll always make a way of escape so that ye may be able to bear it.
Yep.
Wait, hang on.
Verse 13.
But I thought it was 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verses 13 through 15. That he's quoting like a whole thing there.
No, it's 13, bro. It's 13.
So
so I do get the book, chapter and book though, right?
Yeah, and just getting it right, knowing that it's not there. So let's see. So you have 12, and Kerrigan has 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. All right. So it's looking rough, brother. All
I
right,
wouldn't
so
say I'm
next
doing
one.
bad. It's just Kerrigan's just doing better. I've gotten
No, I'm just
we've
messing
gotten
with
like
you, bro.
almost every one right, except for that one that was like kind of iffy. Let's just be real.
All right, well, we got 2 more. So I think you're first, Kerrigan. Yeah.
Yeah.
So as iron sharpens iron, so a righteous man sharpens the countenance of his friend.
No.
No? Okay.
There's some words wrong there.
Okay. Jaden?
Can you repeat it? Sorry, I was spraying a nap.
Yeah, bro. As iron sharpens iron, so a righteous man sharpens the countenance of his friend.
I think that's right.
Okay. So Kerrigan got it right.
What was I wrong about?
Well, I'll wait till. Do you want to go for additional points, Brother Kerrigan?
Yeah, of course I do.
Okay.
I'm gonna say it's Proverbs. I know that.
Okay.
And I'm kind of having a moment of dyslexia. I think it's either 17:21 or 21:17. I'm gonna say 21:17.
Well, you didn't get the chapter right, but you did get the verse right. It's Proverbs 27:17.
Oh, see, I almost had it, man. I put a 1 instead of a 7. And I think it's as iron sharpens iron, so one man sharpens the countenance of his brother, or something like that. Does that sound about right?
I have it right here as iron sharpens iron, so a man sharpens the countenance of his friend. That's the correct version.
All right.
Yeah, I knew countenance was there, so I was confused on what word was missing.
It was
there.
the righteous man
That-
one. I knew it wasn't righteous
Huh.
man.
Okay.
Cool.
All right.
Well,
What's the score now?
Right now it's at 23-12.
I'm honestly fine with losing this way because, like, at least I'm getting things right, and like, if I do get it wrong, it's kind of this Bible trivia, man. I just butcher it. I just get dominated. But I think I'm holding my own a little bit. He just gets his extra point, so it looks like a blue out, but it's not really a blue out. Let's be real. Let's be real.
We should
All
talk about
Christian,
bowling.
Go ahead. Christian, go ahead. That wasn't a blue out either, but go ahead, Christian.
We should talk
go
about
ahead,
bowling.
go ahead. No, let's just go. Just go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
All right, last one. Do not give what is holy to the dogs, nor cast your pearls before swine.
Yeah.
Yep, that's right.
Okay. All right, you both got that right. So since Jaden is going first, you can go for additional points.
Yeah, I'm probably not gonna get these additional points. I couldn't give you that Bible reference. I do know. I think it's in there twice, so I think it's quoted, right? I think it is quoted.
Can't help you, bro.
But
Sorry.
I know. All right, I'm gonna just guess Jesus, because I know Jesus says it. I'm gonna say the book of. I'm gonna say book of Matthew. Matthew chapter has some pearls for swine. I want to say Matthew chapter, I don't know, 15 verse 6. I don't know.
Matthew 7:6.
There you go.
Matthew 7:6. That comes right after the do not judge.
That's right. That's right. That's why I remembered it.
Oh man.
He ain't gonna forget that next time.
No, I'm not. Now that I know. Now it's on there now.
It
Now
goes
it's
right
on
along
there.
with the judging thing too. It goes right along with
It does.
judging
Yeah, I
what
guess
you should
that's
give
true.
somebody.
That's true. Yeah. Wow. And that actually proves, by the way, that you have to be able to judge in order to cast pearls before swine, because you got to judge whether or not they're swine.
Right.
Dang,
Later,
I'm
it
not-
talks about how beware of false prophets. Well, how can you know whether someone's a false prophet? You're not judging people.
Oh, I'm
right.
using that. I'm using that.
Cool. Well, yeah, so Kerrigan won. He's got 30, and Jaden lost, and he got 14. So
Good job, bro.
Good game, bro.
Good job, Kerrigan. You did well.
And I like how we had some refining on that game too, because there were some details not worked out at the beginning. So thank you for being
Hey, it was good
gracious.
though, bro. I liked it. I enjoyed this segment. We should do it again.
Yeah, for
Just
sure.
make sure you have an intro next time.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's definitely coming.
If he gets an intro,
Yes.
he's gonna be like top 4, bro.
Because I got my resources already right here on my tabs. I'm gonna be working on that, bro. So
Maybe.
All right. Let's go.
Okay,
Let's go.
friends. Well, if you guys thank you, Christian. Good job, by the way, in that second. If you guys enjoy this podcast and you want us to cover any topics that you want us to cover, email us at pinpointpodcast@gmail.com. If you're not part of our Born Again Believers Discord yet, it is in the link in the description. You just got to answer a questionnaire, and it'll be approved by one of the moderators if we consider it you be a good fit. Simple enough. And yeah, we are live every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Central Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And yeah, I appreciate you guys tuning in. Brothers, any last thoughts before we... I say that. That's like something that I always say to my brother. I used to watch a YouTuber, and he'd play NBA 2K, and he'd beat people really badly. He'd say, oh, this is a blue out. And anyway, it's like a thing that I say. But whatever. Anyway. And it's just blue out. It's BLUE, not blue, like, you know. BLUE.
Thanks for the clarification.
Yeah, so to make sure. But yeah. Anyway, brothers, any last thoughts before I press the outro music and all that?
No, just continue to seek Jesus and go deeper with Him.
Why did you say no and then give a final thought?
That's a good question, actually. I don't know why I did that.
I got another thing that Gen Zers do. Yeah, no, yeah. Yeah, no, yeah. I might have one, I might not. 6'7". Yeah, just, no, yeah, no. Just go ahead and follow Jesus this week, brothers.
I don't know. I mean, I do know.
That's true. Yeah, we do say that.
God bless y'all.
Yeah, God bless.
All right. God bless you guys. Have a good night.